In the headlines, local police are once again in the spotlight, being accused of police brutality. A video surfaces showing Christopher Hunt giving instructions for an illegal motorcade. And the National Workers' Union meets with the Castries City Council to discuss a cash flow problem. All this and more coming up in tonight's broadcast.
This is the Hot 7 Nightly News with Loveless and Amy Joseph.
It is Wednesday, the 17th of June, 2020. Welcome to the Hot 7 TV Nightly News Edition on Flow Channel 117, Kiss FM, and our Caribbean Hot FM mobile app. I'm Rochelle Gonzalez. Thank you for joining us. One family is calling out for the members of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force to put an end to the abuse of their authority. The call comes after videos surfaced on social media of a young man being manhandled by officers in Castries. The uncle of the victim says they are still unable to ascertain why the young man was approached in the first place and will explore all options available to the family, as it is high time that police brutality is stopped.
Given all the unrest all over the world resulting from police brutality over the years, one would only assume that officers of the law would use this time of public scrutiny to work on the policies and ethics of the force. However, a video has been circulating on social media of a young man jostling with bike patrol officers in Castries. The uncle of the young man, Arthur George, has come out to demand an explanation from the Royal St. Lucia Police Force.
My nephew was being arrested yesterday. He cannot be told, neither the family can be told why he was being arrested. But yet he is facing charges of resisting arrest and assaulting an officer. Now in all the videos circulating social media, you could see my nephew that take all the licks from the police. You'll lift him, you'll kick the man, drop him on his face, kick him from the ground, drop him on his face, still batter him up, cuff him, beat him, slap him, and still try to arrest him. If members of the public didn't intervene, it's like it would be a worse outcome. Now you're still telling him, and after you'll do him all that, you're arresting him and charging him with resisting arrest and assault. Which member of the public would understand the fact that the officer is asking you for your identification card, your ID card? In asking you for it, you tell them they don't have it, they tell you under arrest. At the same time you under arrest, you asking them why, they telling you stop resisting arrest. But you can't tell me in the first place why you arrest me.
The irate family member says, given all what is happening in the world currently, he does not understand why officers are not following what they were taught at Training Academy. He says the family is anxiously waiting on an update from the police on his nephew's condition.
I don't see nowhere, I don't know where in policing or in police training, officers have been taught to kick you off the ground, from the ground, lift you and actually drop you on your face. If you see in the video, the man have a big scar on his face. Now, medical attention for that, of course. I don't even know if my nephew see medical attention. They refuse us visits, telling us COVID-19 laws. At the same time, I don't know the man's condition, I don't know the man's state. Again, there's some officers that have been very cooperative with us, but then again, the investigating officer, I understand you cooperated with us, but up to now, people, what time is it? Minutes to 12. Up to now, we can get a phone call from you.
George says he understands that it is a requirement that citizens work with identification at all times, but sees no reason as to why the situation had to escalate that much. He is calling for officers to do their due diligence when in the field.
If you come and you identify yourself to me as an officer, so and so, and then you're arresting me, and I understand why I'm being arrested, I'll be willing to cooperate with you and be willing to go with you. But if you can't tell me why you're arresting me, I'm not letting you put handcuffs on me, guys. Do your policing properly and follow protocol, because I will resist arrest if you tell me. If you cannot tell me why you're arresting me, I will not allow you to put handcuffs on me. I know my rights at the same time.
He has indicated that the family will be exercising their right to legal counsel, and whatever has to be done to receive justice for his nephew will be done. George says it breaks his heart that such injustices occur in St. Lucia, and law enforcement officers need to stop abusing the powers vested in them. He says these situations in St. Lucia with police brutality are slowly becoming similar to those in the first world countries, and it is very terrifying. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Jenny Bonza.
As interest continues in the ongoing case surrounding the arrest of controversial TV personality Christopher Hunt, a new video has emerged showing him in a possibly compromising position. Hunt was arrested and charged on Sunday under the suspicion of being the leader of an illegal motorcade. He has since been released on bail.
Tell everybody so everybody knows. Those who have vehicles, just make sure we drive very slowly till we reach by the gap of our show. Everybody just line up behind and we're going for our drive. Once we get out of town, we think everything will take place. Those who need buses, yeah, the buses are by DAX. No, the buses are by DAX. Okay, the buses are coming. Okay?
So why they stop the music?
We have to dictate. The police are telling us how to do it because they have to do their job. So they're telling us how we can do it in smart. All we have to do is just do our thing in smart. You see, I'm not speaking on the speaker there. Tell everybody what I'm telling you. Same speak. Okay? Because basically once you go out and we start making a big thing of it, then they're coming to arrest each of us, kind of a thing. But once we go in smart, we
busting our go say that
The National Workers' Union met with the executive of the Castries Constituency Council to discuss and provide solutions on the best way forward for workers of the CCC who are represented by the NWU. Secretary General Johan Harewood explained that the cash flow issue at the CCC needs to and will be assessed holistically by a tripartite group, that is the CCC, NWU and the local government, with responsibility for the Constituency Council.
The Castries City Council has faced many challenges meting out payments to their daily and monthly paid workers, particularly during the COVID-19 pandemic. The National Workers' Union, NWU, who represents the daily paid workers of the CCC, met with the representatives of the City Council on Tuesday to discuss a way forward for the operations of the council, given their dire financial strains. Secretary General of the NWU, Johan Harewood, gave an account of why the meeting was held.
To discuss the whole question of the operations of the council. The meeting was also, the representatives of the Ministry of Local Government also participated in the meeting. And at the end of the day, the consensus was on both sides that we engage the government through a tripartite consultation and discussion so that a nationally agreed and accepted way forward can be adopted regarding the future of the CCC. The mayor and his team presented a situation where there was some cash flow challenges that they were encountering, particularly as it relates to the impacts of the COVID-19 situation. So we indicated to them that we are willing to work with them in terms of trying to ensure that the CCC stays afloat and that it can function in the whole question of its provision of essential services. So in light of that, the Ministry of Local Government's representatives supported the idea of that tripartite engagement with the government.
Harewood explained that the cash flow challenge would not necessarily be resolved by the union simply shoving options down the throat of the CCC, but rather a comprehensive look must be taken at how monies are allocated and spent within the organization.
Both sides agreed that the whole operations of the council must be looked at with what you call a fine-tooth comb, from A to Z and back up to A. So you have to look at it from a holistic perspective, look at your various departments, your staff count in each of the departments, your head counts, your operating hours, and all of these things have to look at what are the current demands of the council, whether it be at the cemetery, in the sanitation department, and all these other departments. Where the revenues coming in, how is it spent from an expenditure side of it? Is the expenditures justified? Is it producing returns and all of these things? So it's a holistic assessment that has to be done. And it can't be just, cut here and cut there and send home workers here and send home workers there and wham, that is going to solve the problem. It may very well not solve the problem, and you'll be surprised at that.
He indicated that the Ministry of Local Government was responsible for putting together a group comprising of members of the CCC, NWU, and local government to assess what must be as soon as the end of the week. He says the discussions and assessments moving forward will be unbiased to ensure that in the future, the CCC has a more stable and reliable way of dealing with revenue being collected and spent by the organization. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Genevieve Gonzague.
Committee member of the Black Lives Matter movement St. Lucia, Aaron Alexander, says he feels an overwhelming sense of pride seeing St. Lucians standing up for what they believe in, as well as taking part in the righteous fight for justice and equality. He says previous comments by Minister of Health Mary Isaac have been debunked by the public and believes that this is an indication that the people are becoming conscious of their rights.
On Friday 12th, the Black Lives Matter movement St. Lucia staged a silent protest at Constitution Park. Coming out of that protest were fears that persons may be arrested due to it continuing despite not being approved by the Commissioner of Police, a fact which has since been cleared and refuted by Acting Police Commissioner Milton Daisy. One committee member, Aaron Alexander, however, has indicated immense satisfaction and appreciation to the people who came out to show solidarity for the movement and what it represents.
Like I said earlier, I'm proud of St. Lucians, I'm proud of my people, that we are rising up and our eyes are opening and we're realizing we need to stand up for our rights. I mean, even public opinion will tell you, the last protest that we did there with the Black Lives Matter group, you know, which I'm a part of, a committee member, the majority of St. Lucians tell you they support it. They support it because, let's face it, will the system, whether it be police or government, will they give you permission to protest against them? They will never give you permission to do that. So it's almost as if, well, you're just informing them that this is going to happen and provide us some level of security. It's a peaceful, non-violent protest and just accommodate the people. Even the Prime Minister said he had consultation and he asked the authorities to ensure that the activity went on. So we took our cue from that.
Alexander says while St. Lucians are generally passive, calm and law-abiding people, there are times that they will stand for what they believe is right, as seen with the protests that have been taking place in the last week. He also indicated that the actions of the people of late serve to debunk the statements made by Minister for Health Mary Isaac that the spirit of revolution in St. Lucia is dead.
So people who are telling you that whether revolution is dead or politicians who died, they die with the revolution, this is just wishful thinking, because the might of the words of some of those great leaders still dwell within the people, and it's just a spark. It takes some time to bring it out.
He indicated that the words and principle of wise men such as George Odlum, Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X and the likes should not be forgotten, as they will prove useful, as time and time again history has proven to repeat itself in some instances, and black people need to stand up when they are being oppressed and stifled by the individuals who should be working towards the betterment of the black community. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Genevieve Gonzague.
This is the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. Still to come, the government's repatriation efforts continue. WASCO says don't let the recent rainfall stop you from water conservation, and the NWU says no to the Labor Code Amendment extension.